Hi, I'm Chuck OLYNYK. I'm a reenactor, and I'm on a very pretentious sounding mission Odyssey. I intend to visit each of the California missions, Asistencias, those are the spin-off missions, and Presidios, those are the fortifications. And I intend to do it in garb and tell the story of each place. And the reason I'm doing this is history tends to go away. History gets rewritten. And I want to preserve what I can. So here I am with a career of 36 years where I collected garb. I also am involved in historical reenactment anyway. I still have a passion for bringing the past to life, and I want to preserve landmarks in history. And so today, I've just left El Presidio de San Diego, and I'm on my way to Mission Basilica, San Diego, which is where I was supposed to go first, and which everybody who does the mission run always goes first. But I did it a little differently. And then today I realized my priorities had to change and I had to cover the Presidio first. So now I'm on my way to the mission. So I hope you stick with me. So here we are, the very first mission in the chain of Alta California missions, Mission San Diego de Alcala. And this is not the first mission. So here we are, 5 miles away at the original site of Mission Basilica San Diego de Alcala, and it would be right next door to the Presidio. However, the Padres felt after a short time that the soldiers were a bad influence on the neophytes. The soldados were pretty much like poster children of exactly what not to do. And so they moved the mission over to its present site. Overcoming their initial fear, the Kumeyaay were won over, at least some, by gifts of food and trinkets by Father Serra, and he convinced them to help him construct the mission, which was dedicated to Saint Didacus of Alcala, and whose feast day was closest to the landing. So the mission in time was constructed and known as San Diego. August of 1774, the Padres moved to near the village of Kumeyaay and established the mission. So that's this site. And in a short time, they built quarters for the monks. They built a granary. They started building all that mission stuff that tends to happen. And then things are going to go bad. The rapid rise of baptisms in the space of a year caused the Kumeyaay to revolt against the Spanish. They rose up, burned the mission, killed a padre, carpenter, and blacksmith. When the Kumeyaay rebelled against the Spanish at Mission San Diego de Alcala, the rebellion was ruthlessly crushed by the soldados de Cuero. After the rebellion of the Kumeyaay was suppressed, a new church was built made of adobe. That church was damaged in 1803 by an earthquake. The present church, constructed from 1808 to 1813, is the fourth on the site. The mission consisted of an adobe church, cemetery, granary, dormitories, and barracks with a guardhouse. A kiln was made for creating tiles. A wall made the fourth side of a more easily defended location. The Padres did not simply remain behind their adobe walls 9 feet in height or their defensive structures. They went about the business of spreading their gospel and converting the Kumeyaay. And in 1797, that was considered one of their most successful years as far as spiritual results. There were 567 baptisms performed. There were 908 neophytes there. The average was about 1,500. The baptismal font in the church, that's a replica of the one in which Father Serra was baptized in 1713 in Petra on the island of Majorca. The baptismal font in the museum is original to Mission San Diego. And while this was one of the poorest of the missions, and it did struggle, it eventually began to prosper. And it prospered enough that in 1795, there were expeditions sent to explore the backcountry of San Diego County to decide where other missions would be established. And in 1818, Mission San Diego will get its own Asistencia, and that would be Asistencia Santa Isabel, 48 miles away. When Father Jose Bernardo Sanchez oversaw the planning of the fourth church, he decided that, unlike its predecessors, the roof was going to be of timber. The timber was shipped over 60 miles from the interior mountains. Next to the church is a bell wall, or campanario, which rises 46 feet in height. It contains 5 bells. The largest bell, Metro de la Rosa, weighs 1,200 pounds. Farming was difficult until the mission finally built a dam. So what San Diego relied upon in using its 55,000 acres was in often raising cattle and sheep, and each mission would have its own distinctive brand. However, my research found 2 different brands. In 1834, the mission lands were divided into ranchos. During the Mexican War, the U.S. military is going to take over the mission, and they will be using the mission as a barracks for quite a while. The mission buildings deteriorated. An archbishop wrote a letter begging the U.S. government to return mission property to the church. And President Buchanan returned 3 of the missions to church control. He didn't return a whole bunch of land. He returned the chapels, the cemeteries, granaries, orchards, vineyards, but not the vast expanse of lands that the church previously owned, as far as each mission was concerned. In 1862, during the Civil War, President Lincoln did the same for Mission San Diego, Mission San Buenaventura, and I believe Mission San Miguel. Now, in 1865, 3 weeks before his death, he signed a declaration or proclamation returning land from the other missions to the custody of the church. President Lincoln may have returned what remained of the mission buildings and 22 acres of land to the Catholic Church, but the buildings themselves were in ruins. In 1891, Father Antonio Dominic Urbach moved the St. Anthony's Industrial School for Indian children from Old Town San Diego to the mission grounds. In 1907, the school closed and was moved to Banning. After much research, rebuilding work began in the late 20s to bring Mission San Diego de Alcala back to its 1813 appearance, and it was rededicated as an active Catholic parish and continues to serve a congregation today. So this is where it all began. First mission in Alta California. You're going to see huge changes, huge impacts. And you could talk about the impact of world affairs because the Spanish came here because of hearing about Russian advancement up north. You could talk about the impact of Yankee traders and smugglers coming in and the fear of Americans coming overland and basically overwhelming, Alta California. You could talk about, I think most especially, the impact of the Spanish upon the native Californian cultures, which was devastating. And that's stuff that I will be getting into from time to time because it's something that sometimes gets glossed over. I did it. I wandered around, filmed. I prayed for my family. People looked at the guy dressed in funny clothes, trying to figure out why he was there. But I feel pretty good. 3 Asistencias down, 1 Presidio down, and the first mission is done. I want to say it, the first mission accomplished. So on to a slight detour. 7.5 miles away is the old Mission Dam, which supplied water for Mission San Diego. So we're going to go visit that. I hope you stick with me on this journey.